And thank you for not calling us GrooveJones. Everybody calls us GrooveJones, like it's GrooveJones. All right, cool. Hey, I'm Dan Ferguson. I'm gonna use 2 slides, and then it's all about Jerome, all right, and the Mavs. So just real quick, this is really going to be talking about the work that we did with the Mavs, and it's really focused on augmented reality. And I'm sure everybody knows what augmented reality is, but I want to just say really quick, AR is really about adding digital content through your view of the world, okay? And that is predominantly done through a mobile device, camera-enabled mobile device, or through a headset. Everything that we're going to talk about today, mobile devices. There are over 1 billion devices that are AR enabled. So everybody who's got a phone has an AR tool. Now, what do we do with AR? So we are creating AR experiences that are basically being used for product visualization at retail. So people can see a product, scan the product, and visualize it through their camera lens, and they can engage with it, tap through it, and open it up and see what it's like. Or they're using it to, like, definitely on the social side where people are posing with heroes. We did the work with the Dak Prescott for the 7-Eleven app. It's part of their rewards program. For ConAgra, doing face apps or face filters. AR has a lot of different uses, but this is kind of the beginning of it. Now, the stuff with the Mavs is totally different. So we'll get into here. So a quick fact about Jerome. We started working together a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. Fun fact about Jerome, he has met Bono and the Pope.
Not in the same day. And they weren't in concert together.
It'll be a cool concert. So let's kind of kick this off and talk about how we began working together on the AR murals.
Sure. So part of our media buy, so we obviously are trying to engage our fans and let people know about the season starting. And so we had every form of traditional media that we purchased. Everything from TV, out of home, digital, and social. But then we started thinking about, okay, we're going to spend a lot of money on some branding mechanisms like a wallscape. What else can we do from that other than just creating some brand affinity? We started thinking about, can we leverage a traditional medium and bring it to life? And that's where GrooveJones came in. And so we started thinking about, okay, people are going to see this, and it's just, rather than seeing a wallscape and be like, oh, wow, cool, or is that a Nike ad or is that a Mavs ad? You couldn't really tell. But then having a component of it that you could actually use on social media, capture the action, if you will, and then share it with your friends. Now that's something that's worth talking about. And so that's what we did with GrooveJones here. And this is the first AR wallscape that we did with Dennis Smith Jr. This was 2 seasons ago before he was actually traded. So this was in October as the season was kicking off. And you can see on the left side of the building there, there was, we're talking about the home opener coming up. When we got to the point where the AR activity was live, then we pulled that scrim off and was able to have directions on there to pull out your phone, and then...
I just noticed that. Yeah, so the teaser, it was launched, and it basically had really the home opener information.
Yeah.
But with every AR experience, I mean, traditionally, whenever you're activating off of something that's static, like a wall mural, you have to tell the user that there's something more. Mm-hmm. There's something you can do. And I forget what the messaging was for this one, right. But then it was revealed to say, hey,
it's live.
Pull out your phone and do something.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
I'm going to play a quick video.
Yep, this is our teaser. And this is on our website. And we actually played it in game too. And you'll see an actor in there that might look familiar.
Who's that?
What a reaction, huh?
So we didn't reveal anything. So this was the teaser video that your team put together and leaked it out on the site and through all your social channels to get people like, what's going on? What are they doing?
Yeah, and the two guys actually that were on the scooters, actually, they were randomly going through Dallas. And they walked up and they saw us with the camera crews setting up. They're like, "What are you guys doing?" I'm like, "Come here." And so that reaction was actually authentic. Mine was a little bit of acting because of all the years of acting school I went to.
So, AR is still super new. AR's been around probably for about 10-ish plus years. Traditionally, it was always done through an app. You'd have to download an app, camera-enabled app, and you would use it. And so, however, it's evolving. So we launched all these campaigns initially. Mm-hmm. So we just initially launched this with Facebook.
Yeah, so this is just on our Facebook filter. So again, in the video that we'll play here, this is my daughter getting dunked on by Dennis Smith Jr. So I shared this on my social feed, and a lot of other people did as well. But if you can hit play.
And people have never seen this before. And when we launched this was the world's largest AR image activation ever done. It was short. It was like, 8 seconds?
Yeah.
So that was all being done on Facebook. And people were sharing images of usually them. Somebody's taking the photo, somebody's in the foreground and the background. The mural comes to life. Dennis Smith Jr. pops off the thing, does a slam dunk, and it was really cool. And it really blew up. Online, people were talking about it. It really was a disruptive moment for AR.
So then we kept that wallscape up October through about December. And then Luka Doncic, who had a phenomenal rookie year last year, started really to come on the scene. And we wanted to wait to really start pushing him heavily with our marketing. And then he just caught on fire immediately. Yeah. And so we had planned to have 3 changeouts of this wallscape. We rented the wallscape all season. And working with GrooveJones, we figured we're going to take advantage of the technology to do something fun each time. And so this next piece was done on Luka. Really, it's a prominent wallscape downtown and averages anywhere from 150 to 200,000 impressions per week. With the Luka Doncic mural, we had about 185,000 impressions, weekly impressions. And we kept this up for about 6 weeks. So you can play the...
So this is, again... We have to tell people something's up there, something's going on. So this was the teaser video that was created to kind of announce it. And now people in Dallas were actually they were talking about the Mavs mural that was going on.
And so one of Luka's patented moves is his step back. So we started, we try to have some fun with that. And when you activate the mural, there's actually a message at the end for you to submit your best step back. So show us your best Luka step back. So again, 186 or 185,000 impressions. We had almost 20,000 scans. And then with that, we probably had about 500 submissions of your best step back. So having that contest, I think we'll play it here. This is how it actually comes to life.
So the AR experience also has audio, and now you can see that we're starting to introduce effects from outside the camera range, and it's still attached to the wall, and now we're playing about 30 seconds of content. So we've gone from a very simple 7-second spot, 8-second spot, to now a 30-second spot. And part of this was capture it, share it, do your step back, and then win. You could potentially win was it a signed jersey?
Yeah, we gave away an autographed jersey and a meet and greet with Luka, so it created a lot of excitement.
So I think one thing that we get asked this all the time, what will a prize help? Should we give away merch, things like that? I think we both agree that hugely successful. Everybody was talking about it. but giving away something didn't necessarily improve it much. So, our takeaway to this is, fans love the Mavs, they love Luka, but giving away a jersey didn't really change it. They still engaged, still very similar play out of that. And then, so this was the second one. Now we're going to the end of the season.
So last season, we had no idea that Dirk Nowitzki, for those of you that know or that don't know, Dirk had played, he's the only player that had played for 21 seasons with one team. And when the season started, he gave no indication of retirement. He didn't want to do a traveling, get a rocking chair at each team that he played at or whatever. He really kept us in suspense all the way really until the last night. And when he actually took the microphone on April 9th, our last home game, and said this was going to be his last home game. So we had no idea, but we definitely knew that we had something that we could at least celebrate. Unfortunately, Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, he had the longest time with the team at 20 years, and Dirk had surpassed that with his last season. So we knew that we had a stake in the ground that we could claim and celebrate one player, 21 seasons, and only one team. So we were going to celebrate that from essentially that Luka wallscape went up in December. We kept that up for about 6 weeks. So about mid-February, and at that point we still didn't know, but we wanted to have something in the can ready to go in case there was an announcement. And so we started planning and putting a marketing plan together about celebrating Dirk's 21 seasons. And part of that was the AR wall. And then with that, once we started to get to the last game of the season, we were promoting, only 10 games left to see the legend this season. It wasn't like forever, right?
Yeah.
And so we just...
we didn't know until a few weeks, literally 2 or 3 weeks before the end.
And the funny, the behind the curtain story was we really didn't know anything. We didn't hear anything from the ownership. We didn't hear anything from Dirk's camp. And it wasn't until the week before when actually George W. Bush's camp sends us a video. And they say, look, you can only use this video if, in fact, Dirk announces his retirement. And we're like, okay, this is orders from the president, so we got to make sure we abide by those. And it was W wishing Dirk well on his retirement. And so we go through the celebration, and here are different components of, not only did we have the AR component on the wallscape, we had 20,000 commemorative tickets made, so that was in the arena. There's a poster there, fan clapper that was sitting on all the seats. So all of these had different AR wall or AR components to it, and Dan can show you that in a second. But the punchline here is that, so with W's video, we couldn't play it, and the original script was to have Mark Cuban speak, Coach Carlisle speak, and then Dirk. And then so we changed the order up after his last game. We said, okay, let's give Dirk the microphone first after Coach kind of introduces him. And Dirk does, in fact, say, this is my last home game. So now I'm cueing our team to get that video ready of W making, his retirement announcement. So we got that ready to go. And so it went Dirk, then Mr. Cuban, and then Dirk again at the end. So we were able to get that queued up.
So, generally when you do talk about productions and time frames, timelines and all that, I think we had 2 or 3 weeks because, it was still very fluid. Mm-hmm. And so when it was all decide 41, 21, 1, we don't know if he's going to retire, but we're going with it. And so all this stuff happened 2 to 3 weeks, doing all 4 experiences, getting them all packed up and ready. When was the mural reveal? Like a week prior?
No, that one went up, I think, in mid-February. Okay. So we had at least a good 2 months of it up.
Got it.
This one generated a lot more weekly impressions, 250. We had about the same number of scans. But when the AR idea behind this was, we're celebrating 21 years.
Yeah.
And we actually had a shot chart of every single shot and make that Dirk had throughout his career. So we were able to go back and find video from each game, from his first season all the way to his last. And it's the same shot from basically the top of the key. So keeping that perspective in mind from the still image to the AR video was what we wanted to accomplish, and I think we did a good job of that.
So this is a quick video of the ticket, and a cool thing about the ticket was there are 20,000 people in the arena, and when they announced it over the PA, hey, pull out your ticket, and we've got a really cool experience commemorating Dirk, 10,000 people scanned it within that hour. So here's what it looks like on a kitchen counter. Somebody did. And those are all the shots that we're talking about. So there are 21 shots that were projected onto the kind of the big screen TV. And again, people were posting this and sharing it. This was the one that really kind of blew up on the internet. Every time a new mural came out, all the news stations came out and did remotes on it. And people were talking about it in the city. So it really got a huge following throughout the season. And then technology changes. So the first year we were using social platforms. I think we started with Facebook, then we introduced Snapchat, which actually got more plays. So just anecdotal information, Snapchat users tend to be 4 to 5 times more active in the AR space than Facebook users. It always is like that. Instagram was not open at the time, but since then, Instagram has opened up their AR platforms, and people can generally create content and distribute it through the platforms for free. The work that we are doing in 2019, there's a technology change. So all the social platforms have since changed the way when you upload content, it really limits the file size. So today, the content that you publish is about 2.5 meg. If anybody out there who's into technology, this may be of interest to you. All of the content that we were doing the year before was about 10, 15, 20 meg in file size. So we couldn't do that this year. All the content that we were doing last year, we couldn't do this year. However, there's been a change within Web AR. So Web AR allows you to publish AR content through a web browser. The web browser asks for permission to have access to your camera. You give it permission to have access to your camera. Now the web page becomes a camera view, and you can publish content through a web browser. And so this all happened with the Kristaps
Right.
AR.
So KP was part of the trade 2 seasons ago in February, didn't play, but then started playing this season. And so in talking with his agents and his brothers, actually, they wanted to do something to help establish his brand in Dallas. And really, he wanted to do something to help childhood hunger. And so we came up with this concept about Kristaps blocks. So for every block, he was going to donate $500 to the Mavs Foundation to stop specifically childhood hunger. And again, talking with GrooveJones, we wanted to figure out how can we do that with our wallscapes and help that come to life. And so this is what we came up with here.
So this is, we ended up doing 2 murals. The initial one had the traditional jersey, and then they launched the city jersey, which was a big deal. And this is using Web AR. This is about 30 stories up on the Crown Plaza, downtown Dallas. So it's a massive structure up there, and now it's turned into a game. So this is really cool. So that's the camera view. And then you're taking shots at him at a building that's what, 40 stories tall or something like that, 30, 40 stories tall. And he's blocking the shots. It's like King Kong up there. So at the end of it, he talks about his message. And so gamifying it really kind of caused, and really, I mean, we're working on the stats right now, but this is all currently live up there right now. But it's a really kind of deviation of what we were doing, which was just originally a passive and share play, to now more of an interactive engagement. So